Coach Larsen, just got back from your double header with Northwest and Central. Obviously not the way that you would have liked it to go, but how did the games go from your perspective?
Northwest did a really good job. They played with a lot of energy. They mixed up their zones. They're well coached. They make it scrappy. They know they're a little undersized, and they get after you defensively in many different ways to try and keep you off balance. And I thought offensively we got almost any shot we wanted. But we settled for a lot of threes and just couldn't get them to fall. And that ended up being a big difference for us. We could get a stop, but then we wouldn't score. And then when you don't see the ball going in, it starts to affect other ways. As a coach, you never want it to be like that, but it ends up sometimes going that way.
In the last game against Western Wyoming, you mentioned about the fact that you were a little bit frustrated with the lacking of stopping the offensive rebounds. Whereas you look at this time at Northwest, yourselves, you got 17 offensive rebounds yourself, and you only held Northwest to 3.
Yes.
Massive difference.
Massive.
Can you run me through that a little bit?
It was one of those things where we did a good job of keeping them off the offensive glass, but then again, they hit a fair amount of shots, and so it's one of those give and takes that you want to dominate the boards because you look at UConn men last year, the last couple of years they've won the national title at the NCAA level. They dominate on the rebounds, and when you look at those stats, those are those toughness, hustle stats that you just as a coach you want to see, because they affect the game so much in terms of possessions and things like that. And while we did a great job of keeping them off and getting the offensive rebounds ourselves, we couldn't convert. And so, we got to finish the job the next time.
And trying to look at the positives from perhaps a not ideal performance, Liamsey had a great match.
Yes.
She was 6 from 11 from the field. She had 4 assists, 4 steals. Complete performance.
She has found a level of confidence and comfort in running our team, and it really shows. She's taken some really good shots in rhythm. She's making sure that she's involving as many as she can. And, against Northwest, it was one of those things where not a lot of people had it going on. And so she was able to step up in a big way for us offensively and keep us in it for that first half. And then, did her darndest to try in the second half. We couldn't keep up with her.
And it's always hard to play against a team that shoots 55 in the field. It's a difficult thing to do. But how crucial was it for you to see actually defensively you did all what you could to stop what you could?
We big thing for us against Northwest was we struggled guarding the ball. They did a great job of getting by the initial defense and causing help. And I thought we did a good job of helping, but it was that secondary help that we were late on or struggled on that got them open looks. And so, that's tends to be what causes 55% shooting is they, we were bad at the point of attack, and they exploited that.
And just lastly on the Northwest game, looking at bench points, they had 37 points come off of their bench. How important is it to a game of basketball in that point to have that many points off the bench?
Well, bench points are an unbelievably great equalizer. When you're home and you're sleeping in your own bed and everything else feels very comfortable, and so you're always as a coach a little guarded about that and a little worrisome of which player was not going to be the focal point of a scout or the focal point of what we're doing, who is going to pop off a little bit. And they had multiple that it felt like they couldn't miss in certain circumstances. And but that's the comfort of being at home. And when you're trying to be a good team and a successful, consistent team, you got to be able to figure those things out, and we'll get there.
And now looking towards Central and the game at Central, for a long time it looked like the Lancers were going to go on and win that game. Just in that fourth quarter, you conceded 31 points to your 19. How breaking is that?
That one was tough. We had struggled in the first half. They hit again. Being at home, they shoot the ball better at home. They got off a couple of buzzer beaters that went in that gave them a lot of momentum. I thought in the third quarter, we did a great job of coming out and playing a lot closer to what we expect to do and how we play. But then they started the fourth quarter on, I think, like a 10 or 11-0 run. And that really kind of took us back a little bit, and it just became a battle the rest of the way.
And again, looking at the offensive rebound count, you held them to 3 again. How important was that training for that?
You know, that's big for us. It's won us games in the past, and you know, we're going to keep focusing in on it, making sure that we don't give teams extra possessions. You know, just got to be better at the point of attack.
And again, in that game, your assist count was at 21. It's a lot higher than perhaps than we've seen in the last few games. How important was that for your performance?
It's one of those signs that shows how talented we can be and how good we can be. You know, we just got to make sure that we continue to do it together and continue to share the ball, because, you know, it's a lot more fun when everybody's touching the ball and shooting well. And, you know, it's just those dirty little things on the defensive end that we got to keep improving.
And lastly, looking forward to your next games, how are you feeling?
Feeling good. You know, we've got a talented group. We're getting healthy, hopefully at the right time. And, you know, we keep going in the right direction. Keeping the assists high, keeping our attacking the offensive glass, keeping the other team off the offensive glass, and just continue to work on our pace. It gets better and better.
Coach Larsen, thank you very much.
Appreciate it.